looking at this equation, we're also going to try to use the square root property, but it's going to be several steps before we can get there. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let me write this here. It's 9 times n plus 8 squared plus 6 equals 186. When you're using the square root property, what you need to do is isolate the expression that has a square. I'm looking at this one right here. That one has a square. I want to have it on one side and everything else should be moved to the other side. Okay, step number 1, I am going to subtract 6 from both sides. Okay, that is going to do what? Well, that's going to cancel it here. And then you're going to get 9 times n plus 8 squared equal, what is 186 minus 6? Well, that's 180. Finally, in order to isolate this guy, I need to get rid of the 9. Now, what operation is between 9 and the square? Remember, the default operation when they don't put anything is always multiplication. This is times right here. To undo multiplication, you divide, right? This is operation that's opposite to multiplication is division. All right, so what does that tell us? That this 9 is going to cancel. And now we achieved what we wanted. We isolated the square on one side, and then 180 over 9, that's going to be 20. Now we can use the square root property. So what is that? Well, we're going to take the square root of both sides. What is that going to do? Well, it's going to cancel the square. Because when you take a square root of a square, they cancel each other out. You will get n plus 8 equal, well, on the other side, nothing is going to cancel. That's just going to be square root of 20. Okay, now the last step would be subtracting 8 from both sides, but you do have to remember something. Every time you're using the square root property, you don't just get one answer, you actually get two. Positive square root and negative square root. And I need to remember that this is really plus minus the square root. Okay, that means what? Well, one of the answers is going to be n plus 8 equal positive square root. Now, when you subtract 8, that gives you n equals square root of 20 minus 8. Or you can put, usually they put negative 8 first and then plus square root of 20. That's going to be one solution. But that's not the only solution because you also can get a negative, right? So let me just insert it here. Like if this were a negative, what would have happened? Well, all that would have happened is that this square root will now be a negative square root, but everything else is the same. And your second solution will be negative 8 minus square root. And there is your answer.